Good morning. My name is Chris Fox, and today we're talking about the dangers of a fixed mindset. This is a personal demon of mine and is for almost everybody that I've met. And for those that are not familiar with what I mean by fixed mindset, this is coming from the book Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. And how she explains it is we tend to believe that most qualities are immutable after adulthood. So if you get into your early 20s and you're not a good athlete, you can't ever become a good athlete. If you get into your mid-20s and you're not a good public speaker, or you're not the management type, or you didn't go to a 4-year university, and so now, you're working dead-end jobs, these things are basically set in stone and you can't really escape them. And sure, we know that one person who dropped a lot of weight or suddenly, without a college degree, got a great job. But for most of us, we believe that it can't change, that our current life circumstances are what they are, and it's just always going to get worse. And this is something, again, that I suffer from. I run into this all the time. My mind will spin out all sorts of impossible scenarios. And of late, it's been more challenging, I think, than it's been for me since I was a decade younger. So like back before I had made all these major shifts in my life, I'm now at a point that is as challenging as what I went through during that transition. And the problem for me is that all of my coping mechanisms and routines have been stripped away. We're all part of the shutdown. Wherever you are in the globe right now, probably it's shut down and you can't really go anywhere or do anything. I mean, sure, you can put on a mask and go to Safeway, but most of your day-to-day routines are no longer possible. And I didn't have a ton of them. I'm a huge hermit. I don't leave the house that often, but I would religiously go to the gym. And now I can't. And so I've been shopping for a home gym. I figured, okay, maybe I could buy it for myself. 4 to 6 weeks delivery time for most of the stuff that I'm shopping for. So I've lost the ability to work out. And I've tried to do body weight exercises. That's not really helping. It's not the kind of workout that I really want to be doing. I do a lot of powerlifting. It's a very important part of my kind of, morning pump up, if you will. And that's sort of how I set the tone for the day. And so what I found is that my physical health is deteriorating. And as a result, my mental health is deteriorating. I'm really, really struggling. And so when that happens, that's when my fixed mindset tends to come charging back. And my fixed mindset tells me that the world can never get better. It's only ever going to get worse because I feel powerless. And when I feel powerless, I slip back into that mindset. I learned a long time ago that it's not fixed, that I can change anything about my life that I want to. And that no matter how bad a circumstance is, I'm going to get through it. It'll take some time. Like for those of us enduring the shutdown, eventually this is going to be over. I'm now hearing early May. God only knows if it'll be over in early May or what will actually happen. But at some point, it will be over and I can get back to a day-to-day routine. So the challenge for me right now is taking a big step back and trying to re-engineer my life so that I have new routines to replace what I lost. I need some sort of physical activity. I'm really struggling because what's the other thing that I would do? Hey, no problem. I'll just go hiking. Sorry, all the parks are closed in our area. Every single park, just closed by our county and our state. You can't go to the park. You're not supposed to be there. So I can't go hiking. And I can't work out. And again, this is a big part of my day-to-day routine. Like I sort of need this to stay sane and, keep stable. It's really challenging. I don't have a good answer either. Like every day it feels a little bit harder. So all I can do really is persevere and not fall into a fixed mindset. Because a fixed mindset tells me this will never get better, even though we have basically an end date that, we've been given. I mean, I know it'll get better. Logically, I can see that it'll get better. Things will improve. And I know that I can probably find some new routines that I can kind of lean into in the meantime. And I'll try to do so to keep myself moving forward. But I'm seeing a hit to my productivity, especially this last week. I'm still getting stuff done, but it's a fight. It's a struggle. And at the end of the day, I am just exhausted. And I feel like I'm further behind than when I started, no matter how hard I'm working. And guys, I don't take days off. I haven't taken a day off since Kayla was born. There are no more days off. I work Saturdays and Sundays because I have to make up for the hours that I've lost. This is no doubt the most challenging thing I've had to go through in a very long time. But we rise to challenges. I mean, we talk about that a lot on this channel. We take them on. because the alternative is being overwhelmed by it. And none of us wants that to happen. And all of us have had that happen in the past. And, I'm trying to rise up and make sure that I'm able to do the things I need to do. And a big part of that is my mindset. I have to keep in mind that there is going to be an end to this and that I do have power. I'm not powerless. There are things I can do. I can write books. I can still continue to produce income. There are types of exercises I can do in my house. It may not be as good as what I want, but it's something. And so I'm trying to focus on those things and be as positive as possible. And it is difficult. It's really hard because I don't feel like I have any control at all. And I know, from talking to other people that it's the same. So I'm leaning into the fun stuff. I'm trying to do more positive things and trying to be better about reacting to circumstances. We have a plumbing issue right now where our drains aren't draining. So in the middle of all this, can't take a shower. It's been a tough week, but you roll with the punches and you get it fixed. I've got a plumber on the way. We'll get that solved. And, it's on to the next challenge. This stuff will pass and I will get back to a point where I can restore the routines that I rely on. So not losing heart, I guess, is the message of this video. If you're struggling right now, if the shutdown is really getting to you, and it is getting to me, so you're not the only one, just remind yourself, we're in this together. We are going to get through it. And don't give into that fixed mindset. We can change things. And we're not locked into any specific circumstance. And even though we feel powerless right now, we're not. There are some circumstances we can't change, obviously. But there are a great number of areas in our lives where we can exert power, and it's all about focusing on the areas that we can make a difference. So if you feel powerless in one area, maybe you're not in another. Anyway, guys, I am going to get back to the writing. I finally put up a pre-order for The Ark War, which is terrifying to me. This book I hold to my highest standard. It gets way more rewrites. It has a lot more research. And so finally setting up a pre-order for my birthday, July 13th, well, a little terrifying, because the book isn't the first draft isn't even written yet. And it's going to need a second, probably a third. So that's really setting up a clock for myself. But I'm excited. I've got it plotted. I've written most of a good first draft. And I feel strong about it. So I committed to a pre-order. And now I'm just going to double down. And you know what? The Ark War is what's going to get me through the shutdown. I am going to dive into this novel so hard that it's finished well ahead of that pre-order deadline. And, when I look up, hopefully all this nonsense has passed and we're back to some semblance of normality. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's tough out there. I am going to get back to the writing, and I'll see you next week.